Hey peeps, I hope you're all keeping well and staying strong because it is crazy times out there. I just wanted to make this video quickly just to help to recalibrate people's minds because I know, there's a lot going on with this recent illness and what's happening in the news, and Boris Johnson being in hospital. Well, that's our Prime Minister. I know that's occupying a lot of people's minds, but I think you need to get your head into the game because things are changing and things are changing fast. And one of the things that you need to keep your eye on, is the supply chain squeeze. So let's get into this. I'm making this video because if it hasn't happened to you yet, you, the person watching this video, has either lost your job or you've taken a pay cut. And if it hasn't happened to you, trust me, it's coming. So we need to get our head into the game, guys, because at the very time when we need income is the very time where our income is being reduced. So the supply chain squeeze. So what's happening? So you guys, the people tuning into my videos are probably silver and gold stackers, and we've seen what's happened with the price of silver and the supply of silver. So we've seen that supply chain squeeze where the mines because of this illness, the mines have closed down, or a lot of mines have closed down. The mints can't get any inventory, so they can't make anything, and now the dealers can't get anything, and anything they do have now, because it's scarce, the price is going up. But guys, let me ask you something. Haven't you noticed this same trend in with other products? So when you go to the supermarket, for example, rice, pasta, these things are still not around. Certain kinds of tin food still not around, and they were saying, you turn on the television, they're like, don't worry, things are going to get back to normal. But it's been a little while now and this is still happening. So this is the supply chain squeeze, which I think is more of an issue than this current illness that we've got going on. The illness is happening and it's something we can't change. So, you can't really worry about it. I think the main issue here, the meat on the table, is the supply chain squeeze and the lack of income due to people, losing their jobs and having their hours cut. So, you can let gold get away from you. You can let silver get away from you, because as far as I'm concerned, when you invest in gold and silver, you're effectively putting your money in the freezer. I know people are talking about bartering and all this kind of stuff, which is true to an extent, but I think really what's happening is you're saving the purchasing power of your money so that we can come out the other end of this. But when you do come out the other end, you've maintained your purchasing power, so you can still operate. Whereas if you keep your money in fiat, that might not be necessarily the case. I don't know if anyone's seen the series The Strain. So that's The Strain, STRAIN, The Strain. I would encourage people to go and watch that, because it's a TV series about how they bring on a virus, and in the series, gold and silver, the price does go up for gold and silver while the economy crashes and the money becomes worthless. Gold and silver goes up for a time, but eventually it becomes worthless during the crisis, and food and water and these kinds of necessities become priceless. But then coming out of the crisis, gold and silver get back their value. And there was this one guy who managed to get himself some gold, and by the time the crisis was over and things were returning to normal, he was able to transact the gold and buy himself some real estate, and he became a millionaire. So I think you can let gold get away from you, but you can't let food and medication and these kind of things get away from you. So, you know, I think what people need to start doing, well, you know, I can't really give advice, you know, because I'm in this as well as you guys, but I mean, I think that food and medicine and things like that should be the priority now. You know, if you can still stack gold and silver, do so, but don't beat yourself up if, you know, I'm in the UK, they've got something called furlough, right? So if you work for a firm, the government has guaranteed to pay employees up to 80% of their income, and that's for, I think that's for a 3-month period. So the good news is that you're covered for 3 months, and at the end of the 3 months they'll probably extend it. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't think they're gonna extend it for more than, say, 6 months. And this furlough scheme, once they put you on this furlough scheme, you're not guaranteed to get back into your job after it's over. You know, obviously these are things that they're not really telling people. People are probably thinking, yeah, you know, I'm on furlough, the government's paying my income, and then, you know, paying my wages, and then by the time it's all over I can go back to my job and everything be okay. No, mate, that's not how it's going to work out. So in these critical times, you know, I think, you know, you gotta, you know, it's about surviving this, guys. It's about survival, and food, medicine, water, you know, these kind of things are a necessity, because it looks like there's gonna be a supply squeeze on these things the same way that there has been on gold and silver. Because, you know, I was watching the Atlantis report. If anyone doesn't watch that, I suggest they go and see it. It's on YouTube. And you know, they were basically proposing that, you know, a scenario which I think is actually happening, where, you know, farmers can't farm, you know, they can't get the people to come and work on the farms. People, you know, processing food, delivering food, you know, they can't do it. So it's the same, you know, it's like a knock-on effect, isn't it? The same with gold and silver. The people can't go to the mines, the people can't produce the food's not getting distributed. All of a sudden there's a shortage on food, you know, and this goes for medication, and this goes for other necessities. So, you know, you can worry about the virus all you want, but there's only so much you can do. The bigger problem, which people need to start understanding, is the economic impacts. There's going to be severe economic impacts, and, you know, they're changing laws. There's a lot going on, guys. You know, because think about it, it could be a situation where, okay, look, so there's a guy, right, and he's at home and he's comfortable, he's got his Sky, you know, he's got food in his fridge, you know, he's living really comfortable, and then all of a sudden the government come and they kick him out of his house. You know, they put him in, you know, a really tough situations, and then, you know, say they put him outside for 3 months, you know, and he's, you know, his fridge is gone, he can't watch television anymore, he's really living a hard life, or a harder life than he used to. And then the government turn around and say, look, if you want to come back inside, come back into the side and get your luxuries back, you know, you got to give up certain liberties, or, you know, we want you to do this, or we want you to do that, you know, because, you know, whether you agree with the virus or not, it's certainly putting us in a position where the government are going to be able, well, they've already done it, they've already changed laws, you know, but, you know, there's certainly more that they can do. So I think we're just getting started, because I know they're saying it's going to be 3 weeks lockdown or 2 weeks lockdown, and then they'll assess it and it should all be over. No, guys, this thing is going to go on, it's going to persist for at least 18 months. Yeah, so get your head into that. This is an 18-month situation. Yeah, 18 months at least. Yeah, so it's not 3 weeks and then you're back to work and everything's okay. Yeah, so get your head into that. Yeah, survival economics.